Hello, hello. Welcome today. So today is my birthday, thus the tiara, because I've got to be fancy. And we are actually gonna be doing my birthday giveaway, which means that someone who has entered the drawing will be getting a one-on-one strategy session with me to work on your business, your video plans, your YouTube, whatever it is that you want to talk to me about. You will get my brain helping you for a whole 30 minutes. And this is normally $197 a month if you want to do it monthly, or $247 one time conversation. So someone is going to win that in just a moment. So for those of you who maybe weren't joining us until now, I just want to give you a little summary of what's happening. So in November, which is my birthday month, every single year, I give my lowest prices of the year and I do some giveaways and drawings. And so this year, November 8th, which is my birthday, today is going to be the strategy session. And then November 28th, which is Black Friday, is going to be a chance to win an entire year in the Video Biz cohort, which is my favorite program that I offer, where you get to come and ask questions every single week. We do a training once a month and we have a challenge once a month to help you move your business ahead. It is a way for you to have accountability and know that you have someone who can come and help you with your business and help you get ahead in what you are doing. And so that is what is happening in November. That's a little bit about what's happening today. And each day from November 1st to the 28th, we are also doing a little training to help you and get you focused and ready for ending 2025 and moving into 2026. And so today's is your story is your superpower. And we're about to jump in that in just a second. But before we do, make sure you click the link in the description of this video that says day number 8 giveaway. Because every single day you have another opportunity to get a giveaway entry for the drawings. And so if you start today, you will have 20 potential entries in the drawing for the full year of the Video Biz cohort. So make sure you come every single day and grab those entries. They're only available for 24 hours, and you can have up to 20 entries, plus however many you already have, in the giveaway on the 28th. If you know another business owner who needs help, have them come and join us for these daily sessions. Have them sign up to get into the cohort. And don't forget that the lowest prices that I offer all year are in November. So today through Sunday, you will have the opportunity to get strategy sessions at a huge discount, and I will drop the link in the chat for that in just a moment. And then November 28th through the end of November, you'll have an opportunity to get a huge discount on the Video Biz cohort. So even if you don't win, this is your opportunity to lock in the lowest rate you will probably ever see, and definitely the lowest rate you will ever see until November of 2026. Okay, go get your giveaway entry for today and then come back every single day to get more giveaway entries and check out the sale for strategy sessions if you want to book strategy sessions either every single month or one time to get some help with whatever you're working on. My name is Elise Michelle Nelson. I am a YouTube strategist. I help people tell their story, whether that be a business owner or just the story of their life. And I am really good at systems and automations. And so what I do is I help you do the things that you're passionate about, like connecting with people, by making it so you don't have to spend a lot of time on those other things. So whether that is you hire me to do them for you, or I teach you how to do them faster and easier and give you access to tools like High Level and Metricool and teach you how to use them effectively. Either way, we're making it so you can do more of what you love and less of what you don't love. So let's talk about how your story, actually, this is not the right title for today's thing. I have the wrong notes, guys. We already did your story is your superpower. Give me just 1 second because this is not correct. And I know that that's terrible, but this is just a lesson for you that even when things don't go exactly as planned, you can still be okay. All right. So let me just think for 1 second what this document is actually called so that I can find it. Here we go. So I can't use my printed one because it's wrong. So let's drop that on the floor and let's move on to the actual one for today. So if you are catching me live, I want you to drop a hashtag live in the chat. If you are catching the replay, I want you to drop a hashtag replay in the chat and tell me what you're doing today, November the 8th in 2025. For me, it's a Saturday. What's happening in your life? All right, here we go. You ready? This is the correct one. Ready? Confidence comes from doing. That's what we're actually talking about today. And I want you to just think for a moment. Have you ever noticed how confident people still mess up, but they keep going anyway? And for those of you who are thinking that I had this all planned out, I 100% did not, but it definitely goes with the lesson for today. Um, so today I want to talk about how confident people still mess up, but they keep going anyway. And I want to kind of tie in the fact that continuing to do things is how you become a confident person. Because some of us are like, well, maybe I'm not super confident. So then am I just like screwed? No. The way you get confident is by showing up and doing the thing and seeing when it works and when it doesn't. And then you have the confidence to mess up and keep going anyways. And so that's our goal, right? Because now things are never going to be perfect. So I want to use one of my favorite things in the world as the illustration of this idea, and that is kayaking. I absolutely love kayaking. Those of you who have talked with me before, you know that this is true. And um, I have had struggles with my weight that have prevented me from kayaking at times. I have bought kayaks because I got too big for my kayak. There's all sorts of things around kayaking for me, but at the base, at the core, I absolutely love it. And I think it is the perfect illustration for what we're talking about today. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the actual kayak. And the kayak in our illustration today is going to represent your mindset. Because if you decide, hey, I want to go kayaking, the very first thing you have to do is you have to go buy your kayak, right? Because if you don't have a kayak, you clearly cannot go kayaking. And so when we're talking about confidence, the very first thing that you have to do is you have to make the decision. You have to build the mindset that says, it's probably possible for me to become confident. You have to believe that it is possible for you to get confidence if you don't have it. And that's the very first layer. You have to convince yourself that it's possible that you could be a confident person. And that may be as simple for you as just saying either you're already confident, you just believe you are, or that you can actually say, I believe I can be confident. But for some of us, and this is my experience, I didn't even have the ability to say that I believe that it's possible for me to have confidence. So the only step that I could take, the very tiny step that I was able to take, was to say, I think it is possible. Maybe I could be confident in myself. And from there, I was able to build. And so you have to find whatever the step is, but you have to start with this. The way that you get your kayak is you decide, you put it in your mind that you are actually able to do whatever the thing is. In this case, build confidence around getting on camera, around doing social media, around talking to people. I've been in the past terrified to talk to people in person. And the only reason that changed is because I got my kayak. I got in my mind that I was able to do it. So that's the very first thing I want you to know. You have to get your mind in the right place first. The second thing that I want you to know about becoming a confident person who can overcome it when you mess up and not beat yourself up and beat yourself down for doing it is you have to practice. And so when we're talking about kayaking, that means you get in the kayak and you actually paddle. That is what practicing is when we're talking about kayaking. But when we are talking about your business, when we are talking about video, when we are talking about speaking in front of people or talking to people or reaching out to people or any of the things that you're trying to do, that means you have to actually do it. You do not become more confident in it. You do not get better at it. You do not have more success in it if you never step out and do it. And so the constant battle of I'm going to keep learning, I'm going to keep buying more courses, I'm going to keep doing more things does not work. More courses does not get you more confident. More courses does not get you more results, period. And I'm going to step off for just a moment from this. This is the reason that even though I have courses that you can buy on how to do YouTube, you rarely hear me talk about them. Because I know from working with hundreds and thousands of people that the way that you actually find success is by having someone help you be accountable to actually take the steps, to actually paddle the boat. If you don't actually do the thing, it doesn't matter how much you learn, it doesn't matter how much you talk about it, you will not become confident in it. So the very first thing that you need is you need to decide in your mind that you need to buy the kayak, that you're going to get the thing that you want. The second thing is you have to step out and actually freaking do the thing, okay? And then the last thing, if you want to become more confident, if you want confidence to show through as you are talking to your audience, is you have to have a life jacket. And what this means is you have to have some way, something that you know is there to protect you when your kayak tips over. Because the reality is, especially if you use a sit on top kayak, which is what I use, that thing can tip, okay? Now, the only time I've really had a problem with it is when I maybe drank a few too many, which I don't really do anymore. But it is not stable. And a lot of things like this, like waterboarding and like some other things, they're not very stable and they can tip over. I usually kayak on a pretty still little like lake, but if you're like going to be somewhere where there's like waves, you could totally tip. And when that is a problem, even if you're on I still wear a life jacket, even on the still waters that I kayak on. But you want to have a life jacket because that's what keeps you going, right? In the case of trying to speak on camera, what is your life jacket? Well, if you have memorized what you do and you get stuck, then you can say that. Or if you know how to engage with the people and talk about something else while you repair whatever happened, you'll be able to keep going. See, like what happened at the beginning of this video where I realized I had the wrong notes, okay? And I'm on a live, so this is not recorded. It's not like I can just cut that piece out later. I'm literally live doing this. So when I had the wrong notes, what were my options? Well, I could freeze and just not talk. But instead, I said, hey, this is what's going on. I'm going to go find my notes. And then I asked you what? What did I ask you? I said, drop a hashtag live, drop a hashtag replay. This is a little thing that I know that no matter what is happening, I can always say. It is a life jacket. It is a thing that I have that I can always use. It is always appropriate. I can say drop a hashtag live, drop a hashtag replay at any point of a live video. I can say make sure you hit the like button or subscribe to this channel anytime in a video. And so if you start practicing those tiny pieces that are appropriate at any point, guess what? Those are your life jackets. And it's the same thing for anything. If you're speaking on stage, what is something that you have said a million times that you feel confident enough to say when you get stuck in your mind and you need to think for a moment? So that you're not standing there unable to say anything. Because that freeze is not great, right? The freeze is still better than doing the um, but the freeze is not great. And so if you have your life jacket in place for what you're going to do when there's a problem, if you've got it memorized, if you know what to say and do, guess what? Suddenly, you have more confidence. You believe you can handle the fumble. See, it's not about learning to be perfect. It's not about learning not to fumble. It's about learning what to do when you fumble because we're people and it happens. And when you know what to do when you fumble, you will have more confidence. And you know what? You only get there through practice and through having a mindset that believes that you can overcome anything. And that's what I wanted to talk with you about today on my birthday. It's really an important thing to me because I have spent my life feeling like believing that I should be ashamed because I didn't do something perfectly. I'm less than because I can't keep up with my dishes. And so this is something that goes to the heart of who you are as a person and what you fundamentally believe about yourself. You are able to overcome mistakes when you have confidence, and confidence comes from doing. So, our key takeaway for today, the thing that I want you to walk away with knowing is that confidence grows from showing up, not perfection. And today, what I want you to do is I want you to go live. Even if your voice shakes, even if you're not quite sure, even if it's scary, even if you have a zero confidence or negative 500 confidence, I want you to do it anyway. And then afterwards, I want you to tell yourself that you survived it and that you were more than capable to do it. Now, here's the reminder that I give you every single day. Don't wait until it's perfect. The only reason I can kayak today, the only reason that I can do this today is because I did it even when it was hard. I did it even when I was super overweight. I did it even when I had to buy a new kayak just to be able to go out on the water because I had gained so much weight I couldn't be in my kayak. And that's the same for you. It doesn't matter what the excuse is, it doesn't matter what the reason is, it doesn't matter why you've been held back all this time. Today is the day to step forward and show up because there are people waiting for you to do it. So I want to go back to my kayak illustration for just a moment. The first time that you paddle, I don't care if you're in a sit on top kayak or a normal kayak, you will wobble. You will steer wrong. You will get splashed. But every single time you go out, you're going to get steadier and faster and more confident. I'm going to tell you a story about I just recently took out some people to go kayaking. So, because I've had to buy so many kayaks, I actually have three kayaks. I used to have five, but now I only have three. And so I will take people out kayaking. And this most recent time that I went kayaking, a friend of mine who's gone with me before was had a friend of hers that wanted to come with us. And then I had met someone else at my game night who had just recently bought a kayak. And so she asked if she could come too with her kayak. And I was like, sure, come along. The more the merrier, right? And we get out on the water and well, we actually get the kayaks down to the water. And three of us were there. The other one was still coming. Well, as I'm trying to get everybody loaded into the kayak, so my one friend, I get her loaded in her kayak. She goes out paddling. She's waiting for the rest of us. Her friend is about to get in and she falls. She slips and falls and breaks her arm. And by anyone's standard, that is definitely like a not great thing, right? And so it was like kind of devastating. So you don't need the whole story, but suffice it to say, she went to the hospital. And then the fourth person who was supposed to be with us, so the fourth, including me, shows up and she's got her son with her and she's got her new kayak. And I'm getting her set up. And her kayak was an inflatable kayak. And she had never really been responsible for having an inflatable kayak. And so when she got there, I'm looking at it and I can tell just by looking at it that it is not inflated enough. And I can tell just by looking at it that it's not right. And so I go over to her and I'm like, hey, we still need to inflate this. And she's like, no, I think it's good. And I'm like, it is definitely not good. Okay. I've been kayaking on lots of different kayaks, inflatable ones included, and it is not good. So she has this tiny little pump, and I'm like, you can't use that. That's not going to ever blow up a kayak enough. So she gets out the pump that it came with, and we finish inflating it. And then we're getting ready to take it down to the water. And I realize there's something wrong with the seats, and I can't quite put my finger on it. And it comes out, and I realize that she has the seats put in backwards. So we fix the seats to go the correct way. And we finally load it up and take it down to the water. And I get her in the kayak. She brought her son, so I made her son stay up where he wouldn't fall or anything. And then I get her in the kayak. I get him in the kayak. I push them out. And I'm looking at her while she's out there, and I'm like, something isn't right. So I tell her she needs to come back in. So she comes back in, and I realize her paddle is not put together correctly. It actually wasn't even together at all. So if she had kept paddling with it, it would have fallen apart. And so we put it back together, and then I send her out again, and I get all my stuff packed up and I leave. I didn't even get to go kayaking that day, but I got her out on the water with her son. And I tell you this story because I really want to illustrate something. Things do not always go right. And if you are only able to move through what you need to do, if it's perfect, you are going to not be successful, probably a good amount of the time. And that friend of mine who I met from game night, who I got her out on the water with her son, if she had been left on her own without any help and without any backup plan, without a life jacket, which she didn't even have a life jacket. I gave her one of my life jackets to use. She never would have made it through that. She would have been stranded out in the middle of the water with a paddle that broke in pieces. Her kayak probably would have folded when she got in the water because that's what happens when it's not inflated enough. And who knows what would have happened. But she had a little help from me, and I was there to help her fix the things that weren't right. And then she was able to get out on the water. And when I talked to her later, she had an amazing time. Her son had an amazing time. And it's because she had a little support in something she wasn't confident in. But I guarantee you, she went and got her own life jacket now, and she gave me mine back. The next time she goes out, she'll know how to do those things, and she'll know how to be confident and how to move forward. And so I know we're a little bit over today. I always try and keep this to 15 minutes, but I really, for my birthday, what I want more than anything is for you to understand that you are not alone. that you do not have to know how to do everything by yourself. And I would love to have you either join us in the cohort so that I can walk you through those steps and you can have the help of someone who knows, or get on a strategy call with you. And for those of you who it's not feasible right now to pay for something or do those things, I want to help you too. So please keep coming to YouTube and watching my videos. I'm going to be putting out some new series that are going to be very helpful for you. I'm going to be launching my book, She Hated the Dishes, very soon. And these are things that can really help you that are not high cost. In addition to that, I also offer free 15-minute strategy sessions. Um, One time, you can't come multiple times. This is a one-time offer. You can set one up if you go to myscheduledbiz.com/coffee, and I will sit down with you and we can talk about what it is that would be your next best step. Okay. Now, that was a little heavy, so now we've got to raise it up, right? So if you're still with me, I want you to drop a giveaway in the chat. So type giveaway in the chat if you're still with me, because I'm about to spin the wheel and we're about to see who is going to win that strategy session with me. If you haven't already gotten the link to do the giveaway for the 28th, Black Friday, please do that. And let me just share my screen. Mm, This, do this one. Okay, so here is the spin the wheel. You don't need these ads up. And you can see we've got all the entries on there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to click the wheel to spin it, and then we're going to see who gets the free strategy session. And for the November 28th drawing, it'll work exactly the same way, except we'll be giving away a year of the cohort. So who's ready? I don't see anyone dropping in the chat today. That's okay. If you're catching the replay, tell me how excited you are. Oh, I see Patricia. Hi, Patricia. I'm glad you could join me. It is time to spin the wheel. Here we go. I feel like I need to do like drum roll, but I have a feeling Zoom is going to eliminate the sound of the drum roll. So here we go. Madeline Pendergrass, you get a free call. Congratulations. So you are the one who's going to get the free strategy session with me. If you want a strategy session anyways, it is on discount, and I would love to tell you what the discount is, but for the life of me, I cannot remember what the discount is. Let's see. Let's go to the page. You guys are watching this screen, so let's put it on this screen. I'm gonna go to myscheduledbiz.com/ I think it's strategy birthday. Let's find out. That's not it. All right, give me just a second. Here we go. Another example of things not going perfectly and having to overcome them, right? And is this my fault? Yeah, a little bit, because I should have made sure I had the right thing up for you. But you guys are still gonna love me anyways, and we're gonna make it happen. Okay, let me see what the link is to this. The link to the strategy session for the birthday sale, because you can go to /strategy and not get the birthday sale, but you all want the birthday sale, right? Okay, let's see. Let us see. I thought that was what I put. Let's find out. Oh, it's not working. Oh no! Let's see. So how many of you have a website? If you have a website, I want you to drop in the chat the link to your website, so that everybody that catches this replay can go and look at it. And you can also tell us a little bit about what you do. You never know who is going to see these, and you never know, you might find a client through looking at them. So drop the link to your website, tell us what you do. I'd love to hear about what you do. Let's see. And we may have to extend the birthday sale since apparently it is not here. Here, that's the one for the 28th. It's not there. It's not done. Oh no. Okay, so my VA was supposed to be setting this up for me, and I may have missed some questions she had, and that's why it's not finished. Well, let me take a look at where we are. And I hope that you are dropping your website in the chat. So it looks like Okay, so guys, this is the deal. If you want the strategy session, drop the word strategy in the chat. And assuming that you get entered the giveaway drawing, I have your email address and I will email you when it's ready. And if there is a link on this video that gives you a link to the strategy session discount, it's available. But today, as of this moment, on my birthday, it is not available because I do not actually have the page up anywhere that has the discount included. You can go to myscheduledbiz.com/strategy to see the information about the strategy session, but there is no discount included in that. So I will get that fixed here in just a moment. And this is actually kind of the perfect way for this video to have gone because the whole point is that things are not always going to be perfect. And your ideal people are going to be okay with that and they're going to love you anyways. So go sign up for the giveaway. Drop a strategy in the chat if you're interested in getting strategy sessions. Go out and do a live, even if it scares you. That's our summary for today. Do it even if it's not perfect. And I am so glad that we get to live our dreams together every single day. Have a good one. Bye.